The novel Ransom by David Malouf has successfully recast the Iliad into a modern novel of forgiveness, loss, love and redemption. The Iliad is about the Trojan War and the gods. However, Ransom provides moral heroes as well as warriors. Malouf leaves the reader disenchanted with the glorification of battle through his vivid descriptions of violence, the brutal behaviour of the heroes, and the grim after-effects of war, which obliterate the nobles and warriors and leave only the commoners going about their everyday lives. The novel begins with Achilles, whose mother Thetis died when he was a young boy. Her softening female influence left him, and he became a hardened warrior, trained to suppress emotions. The brutality of war is depicted with wide throats slashed, raucous breath and clashing swords, and swords, heads, shoulders everywhere. Achilles is portrayed as a frustrated, grieving individual. He had moulded himself around Patroclus, his companion and soulmate, in an attempt to replace the loss of his mother. When Patroclus is killed by Hector of Troy, Achilles kills Hector in revenge. His pain and desire for revenge send Achilles mad with grief and self-hatred. In his rage, he daily drags Hector's body around Troy. Each night, the gods move, and Hector's bloody body returns to its state at the moment of death. By revenging himself so viciously, Achilles becomes a violator of every law of gods and man. Malouf uses this flash-forward to emphasize the futility of revenge and the damage it can do to those who seek vengeance. Meanwhile, Priam, ceremonial and regal king of Troy for 60 years, has a vision guided by the goddess Iris. In it he sees himself on a common dray with 2 black mules and a village driver, taking the treasure of Troy as ransom for Hector's body. He risks his privileged royal life to leave the legacy of an old man brave enough to do a deed of heroism and moral courage. He wishes to approach Achilles as a father who loves his son rather than as a king. Somax, his driver, teaches Priam the joys of simplicity and family love through his stories. With his story of his mule Beauty, Somax teaches the value of forgiveness. After 60 years as a ceremonial king, Priam learns to be curious and interested while enjoying the surrounding nature. Somax and Patroclus, supporting characters, are admired for their moral courage rather than their martial prowess. Somax journeys with Priam to the Greek camp with no regard for his own safety. Patroclus, who is not a hardened warrior, presents himself as a target in the armour of Achilles. By doing so, he saves the honour of Achilles and the falling Greek army. His sacrifice represents him as a moral hero. His mother Thetis returns to Achilles in spirit and softens his hardened soul. Achilles rediscovers his love for his family, as he has a vision first of Patroclus, then of his father when Priam arrives before him. Achilles agrees to the ransom, and in forgiving Hector rediscovers his own humanity. His ideas of revenge, retaliation and hate flow from him. Priam returns triumphantly to a failing Troy with Hector's body. Achilles envisions the death of Priam by the hand of his own son Neoptolemus, and realizes he himself will die soon. Later, Neoptolemus kills Priam in a botched and bloody attack. Afterwards, he feels heart sickness. Troy falls and becomes just another long, windswept hilltop, its towers reduced to rubble. The only character that remains alive is Somax, and his stories of Priam are not believed. The horror of battle has been seen on 3 fronts. Firstly, the violence, secondly, the heroes, and lastly, the after-effects. Ransom is able to change the lens through which we view the Greek-Trojan War. Far from being a story of heroes and war, or families and love, Malouf's vivid imagery is able also to convince readers of the cyclical and perpetual renewal of nature. In Ransom, Malouf has added human interest, emotion, and appeal to the Iliad to leave the reader's indelible memories.